Hello and welcome to GT Sports Mates. I'm here tonight with John and we're going to be doing something a little bit different than usual. Whereas we normally set up a lobby for ourselves, we decided to just jump on in and see how we get on against a random lobby. Now, John, we're here at the Red Bull Ring. We had no practice. We're on tyre wear, fuel consumption. There's no corner markings of any kind. What was you thinking coming into this, given the fact we didn't even get out the pits for a practice run?
I was worried about the penalties really because I cut the corner on that turn one there, and I was surprised when I didn't see that lovely red banner appear up above my dashboard, so to speak. So yeah, worried about penalties, worried about getting the braking zones right because exits are so important on this track, and if you don't get your entry right, then the exit's messed up as well.
That is exactly true. And T2 here, I find probably the most difficult. A lot of people go off there on T2 or spin the cars. It's quite tricky, especially when tyre wear is involved. But it looks like he's already up into 5th place from, I believe it was 14th. Just going off actually there. What happened there, John?
Yeah, just about the braking, just broke slightly too late, and it's so hard when you're going downhill like that round the corner to shave off speed and keep it on the track when you're already going towards the gravel there at Red Bull Ring. And it felt like I lost so much time. Where was I, 5th or 4th? And I'm down to 8th, 9th now.
Went into a 4th position there. It is a familiar sight for us, me and you, bunched up together.
Yeah, definitely.
This doesn't get any less boring, I'll admit.
Yeah, it's about the recovery now, wasn't it? Because you had a tough start, and then I've gone off at, I'm not sure, would you call that turn 4?
Yeah, I'd go turn 4.
And it's just about the recovery and trying to get up to as close to the podium as possible.
Yeah, talking about the tough start, as you mentioned, given the fact we didn't have any practice of any kind, I was unaware of the settings for the lobby. Didn't realise they had false starts on, so as soon as that light stopped, I went for it. Ended up with a 3-second penalty straight away. I thought to myself, oh, this is going to be a shockingly bad race for me. But after the first lap, finding myself here in 8th or 9th, depending on where I come out of this corner against yourself. And we've got the guy in the Ford GT. He was all over us for a couple of laps, actually, this guy. He really making himself known. Trying to defend against him was quite difficult.
Clean race as well, I think. There wasn't much sort of argy going on. It was quite tidy, and that made it so much more enjoyable, because generally when you throw yourself into a random lobby, you just end up getting absolutely demolished on like a turn 1 or turn 2 incident. And here it just didn't seem to happen like that. It was really, really enjoyable.
Yeah, I do agree with that. There was a lot of very high skilled drivers in this lobby. Unlike myself right now, deciding to do a complete 180 on the track.
That's how painful it is, though, isn't it? When you just miss your braking zone that little bit and you go wide, and you end up even just sticking a couple of wheels in the gravel. It's almost like almost like a magnet. It just sucks you in, and you can't seem to get away from it. And I'm right on the edge there. It's
just
tough. It's really tough.
Half a second penalty there as well.
Yeah. I was a few pixels over the white line there, you could say, with all the and there as well. But you seem to get away with it there. On that sort of that corner coming up towards the last sector.
Yeah, this track it is very harsh on some of the penalties. We've noticed this during our championship. Actually, we've done this track twice, and sometimes when you're driving around it, you think you've got the corner absolutely banged on, absolutely perfect, and then out of nowhere you get slapped with a penalty. And when you're racing in a lobby of, it's a full lobby, 16 players, and they're all trying to battle the way to the top, you can't afford a penalty, even a half-second penalty. It'll absolutely destroy you. So you've got to be so careful, but you've got to go for it. You can't ease up on the corners, especially when they're right behind you, because they'll either overtake you and they'll just disappear, or they'll nudge into the back of you if you brake too early and they're not paying attention, and that could send you off and do even more damage than getting a penalty. Yeah,
just thinking about the penalties, it changed the outcome of one of the races, didn't it, here at Red Bull Ring? I think Josh Kane was in second in front of yourself, and then because he had, I think it was a few seconds worth of penalties, the actual race order changed up coming over the line. So it can have like a massive impact, that, because looking where we are in the championship at this point, as we're recording this video, there's only, I think, is there 3 points between you and Josh?
Yeah, I think there is. There's only 3 points separating second and third place, and I believe fourth and fifth place. It's is it dead even? Or there might be 1 point.
It is dead even, yeah. So
Yeah,
if Josh wouldn't have lost that position to you in that race, it could well have been that he'd have been a point ahead of you by now. So like that penalty has cost him potentially 4 points there. The 2 that he would have gained by being the second, and then the additional 2 that you have gained by being in second.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's it can make all the difference, and with only 2 races left, every point counts.
Absolutely. Just just going past the halfway lap part now of the track, we're on lap 6. We're both sat in 9th and 10th, so we've climbed the table a bit. You've just gone up to 7th coming out of the pits. You know, from 14th position and 16th position when we started to you being in 7th and me being in 10th now. You know, 6 laps later, we've gone in for fuel. Nobody else seemed to go in for fuel, actually, which baffled me a little bit, actually, watching this match, because the fuel consumption for both me and you, it seemed to be quite bad. We had to pit for the fuel now, and they may have been fuel saving a lot, they may not, I don't know, but it seemed to be that not really anybody pitted, or even for tyres either.
Yeah, the front runners seemed to stick it out on that one stop, didn't they? And they were on softs as well. So like we did a 2 soft stints, soft, and they just stuck it out on a 1 stop and made the fuel work. And I suppose it could work if towards the end of the race you're getting lighter on fuel and you can take it easier on the corners, on the tyres. But it seemed to be so much quicker to get around on that second set of stops that I'm not sure it was actually quicker to go for the no stop. I think it felt quicker, and as we may well end up seeing towards the end of the race, it turned out to be a good decision to go for the 1 stop.
It did, yeah. I've actually just noticed, looking at our positioning, this race started with 16 players and there's only 9 left now, so clearly quite a few players maybe had a few offs. I don't know, maybe they just, you know, going for the strategy of no stopping, realised they couldn't keep up and decided to quit out. It's unfortunate when it happens, there's nothing you can do about it, but you know, you've got to stick to it, you've got to stick it out. There's no point in quitting. You know, you've got to get your driver rating up, so you can get into good lobbies like this one where everybody was trying the hardest to race clean.
I think just determination and wanting to see it through to the end. There's something rewarding about seeing a race through to the end, even if you come in a poor position because of mistakes or whatever. It's a good thing to do, and I think it develops your sort of resilience in that way. It's a game, but by the same token, it can be incredibly frustrating if you feel like you're driving well and you feel like you've been badly done to, or if you've made a costly mistake. Seeing that through to the end, it's a good personal skill in it. Just sticking it out and never giving up. And you never know. You never know. The guy on the last lap might just run out of fuel and give you an opportunity to try and capitalise on that. As we're going to see, it's getting quite close. He's really, really sort of struggling towards the line. I'm coming down. He flicks it to the left and just about beats him over the line.
I couldn't believe when we did this race just how close that was for you coming in. If he'd have just fuel managed, even just for a couple of corners, look at that. He'd have held on to that. It's such unfortunate there. But again, you've got to have the right strategy, and yours paid off for the fuel and the tyre swap. Anyway, thanks tonight, John, and for everybody else listening, thank you. We'll see you all next time.